is Public Service Week, so we just wanted to sit down and have a quick conversation with you. And we wanted to find out, why did you get into public service?
Well, my dad was a union guy, and he worked for a phosphate plant out on 60. And he was a union person, and back then unions were very involved in politics. And this was back when blacks couldn't even vote. I don't know if he was able to vote or not, but they were backing candidates for office, and he took me with him to see what was going on as a little boy, and I enjoyed it. And growing up, a lot of people helped me to get to where I am. My dad was asking, he worked in the phosphate plant for 44 years. My mom, if you ever seen the help, that's what she was. She was a maid. So people helped me get to where I am. So I figured the only way I can give back to communities, because I didn't have a lot of money, was to get involved in politics and try to make lives better for those that I serve. That's why I got involved.
What do you hope to accomplish as chair of the BOCC this year?
One is if we can get the transportation tax initiative validated. That is a major undertaking. This county is growing like mad. We're talking about probably next 15, 20 years, we have 2 million people here. Our systems right now can't handle that. We need to improve that, so I'm hoping that gets taken care of. I hope that I can get that done while I'm still chair.
What do you enjoy most about your job as commissioner?
Compared to when I was in the legislature, I could sleep in my own bed at night. No. You see the results of your labor much sooner than you did when in the legislature. Because if you're in the legislative process in Tallahassee, you may file a bill. It's like I said, it'd be 3 or 4 sessions before you get that bill even passed. May never get passed, sometimes never come out of committee. You think that's the most important bill there is. Other colleagues think it's not. Here, at least you can go out there and talk about it, and we can more than likely we all vote the same way. Very few contentious issues out there, and we get things done immediately.
Tell us a fun fact or a hidden talent about yourself.
I can sing. I was a music major one time when I first went to college, and I realized that I was never going to be a superstar. I wasn't going to record for Motown. So I changed my major to political science, but I can sing. And most of my singing now is done in the shower. But I was, when I first went to college, I was in the choir, the concert choir. We traveled throughout the country. It was a private school. That's how we raised most of the money for that school, besides football and that kind of thing. But the hidden talent is I can sing.
Awesome. Can you give us a little sample?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed? I'm gonna quit.
All right. Do you have any advice for those considering entering public service?
Get your family behind you. If you don't have your family behind you, don't even try it.
One thing you wish people knew about being a commissioner?
It's not a part-time job. The state statutes call county commissioners part-time. This is not a part-time job. The 2 newest commissioners we have on this board that came in here in November, I told them it's not a part-time job. The law says it is, but they found out immediately it's a full-time job, and it's a 24/7 job. You may go home and you get phone calls at home. People know who you are. You go to the grocery store, they know who you are. On the weekends, you go to church, they know who you are. You got to come back and try to alleviate those issues they may have or take them up. So it's not a part-time job; it's a full-time job.
Favorite song from the 70s or 80s, and the song that makes you boogie-woogie?
Being a music major, I had all kind of favorite songs. I was a Motown kid. I grew up in the 50s. My sister, she's deceased now. She was an opera singer. My mom, she couldn't sing that well, but when she did those spiritual songs around the house, she was cleaning up and bringing tears to your eyes. But I really didn't have a favorite song. I just enjoyed singing. I don't care if it was Motown, if it was gospel, because my dad is saying gospel. We didn't listen to much country music, that kind of thing. But I really didn't. It was just any song that I felt was good, that's what I was singing. I even sang some of those old songs in the shower. Now, my wife probably sits there going, well, she would shut up.
If you had a magic wand, what would you improve or fix for Hillsborough County residents?
There'd be a number of things. I wish that people wouldn't be hungry in this county. We have people that are hungry. We have people that don't know where they're sleeping at night. If I could change that, the homelessness situation, that would be a magic wand. If I could find affordable housing for everyone, that would be a magic wand I would take. Transportation issues, if I could fix the transportation system in Hillsborough County, that would be a magic wand. To me, those are the most important things.
That makes it much more livable here in Hillsborough.
Exactly.
What year did you begin your career as a public servant, And tell us about other public service positions you've held.
Well, I call being in the military part of public service. I was in the Air Force from 1970 to 1974. When I went to USF, public service, I became student body president, student government president. We had 18,000 students there back then. South Florida is now almost 50,000. We had a student government budget of $2 million. Now I think it's like 15 million. That was public service. Outside of that, I first ran for public office in 1982 for state representative, and I lost. I ran for city council in a special election, I think it was 1988, if I'm not mistaken, something along those lines. I lost. I ran a special election in 1991 when city council was indicted. They had a special election. I won, and 56 days later I had to step down because he was found not guilty. They put him back in office. In 92 I ran for the House of Representatives. I was elected. The rest is history.
Name an accomplishment that you're most proud of as a public servant.
You know, I saw that question, and there's just so many that I can't pinpoint one. You know, when I went to the House, one of the first bills I passed was a bill that said that if anyone threatened someone in a neighborhood association, they could be put in jail for 354 days or something like that. And as soon as the bill passed, we had a person threaten someone here in Tampa, and they went to jail. I passed legislation to help kids get more need-based scholarships in the state of Florida, helping our young people get education. I fought like mad on the education committee when I was in the legislature. I came here the night before I was sworn in. I was in Palm River, and the people were telling me about the water they had out there. They sit in the valley. All the systems around them was public water. They here lived on wells and things like that. And I got 2 bottles behind you now. If you open up those bottles, it would clear this room. I was able to work with those citizens. The city of Tampa had an interlocal agreement that was really old, and we got rid of it. And working with staff, we have been able to put water, public water, out to those people. They can tap into it. They have fresh water they can utilize out there now. So to say what is the major accomplishment that sits out, there's so many. As long as I'm able to help people, and that's what I don't call myself a politician. That's what being an elected public servant is all about. You don't run to get rich, because you never will. You don't run to be famous, because I don't want to be famous. And I never ran trying to do something to get elected the next year. If I didn't get elected the next year, at least I did the best I could. So that to pinpoint one is not one. It's just many out there, and I'm just happy that I was able to help somebody.
Okay. And to wrap up Public Service Week, sir, would you like to address Hillsborough County employees?
Well, employees, this is Public Service Week, and I want to thank you for all you do for Hillsborough County. You don't get a lot of attaboys or attagirls or pats on the back, and thank you for what you do, but myself, I see what you do in this county, and I hear what you do in this county, and when I have town hall meetings, you show up to tell people what you do. So I ask you to please continue to keep up the work. Thank you for all that you do, and God bless each and every one of you.